Hi friends, Grace and I hope you're having a wonderful day out there in your gardens. How's the weather where you're at? It's been absolutely gorgeous here in Pennsylvania, and I've been spending as much time out in the garden as possible. In this video, we're going to be creating a stone rug for my sunflower bench. This sunflower bench used to be located over in the driveway garden, but about a month ago, I put some stones in this area of the garden, put the bench on the stones, and I thought it would make a really nice seating area. But just having these 5 or 6 stones here in the garden didn't really seem substantial enough. So I decided to mix a couple different types of hardscaping materials together and create a patchwork rug right here in the garden. So I believe I picked up about 45 of these bricks from our local Lowe's. I think they were costing me about $1.19 each. I already had the 5 stones from our local nursery, Ken's Gardens, and in the center there of the rug is going to be the stone that used to belong to my grandma that says the Millers on it. So what we're going to be doing is digging out the earth so that the stones all sit level. And this area of the garden slopes somewhat downward. So these beginning stones that we're putting in, they are lying a little more on the surface of the soil. And then as we work further and further on the design and move in towards the center of the border, we'll be digging deeper holes for our stones so that at the end of the day, the entire thing will be level. And my hope for this area and my hope for the design of this rug is that it looks like it's always been here and that it's old and that it was made by a gardener. I don't really want anything that looks like I brought someone in to do this or it's a brand new build. I would really like it to look like it's been here for a really, really long time. And you'll see I attempted to do some distressing later on in the video, and I'll tell you how that went once we get to it. Now, I believe my main inspiration for this area is Chanticleer Gardens. Over in one of their gardens, they have a stone living room where they have a stone sofa, a stone love seat, and a stone armchair. And I believe those are situated on a bed of gravel and some kind of limestone. And I've always loved that area. And even though I don't think that I could ever build a stone sofa of my own, perhaps this stone rug will get me at least a little bit closer to kind of embracing that beautiful design here in my own garden. Now we're adding in some of the bigger stones that I picked up from our local nursery. These were definitely on the more expensive side, and I was a little bit disappointed with how new they looked. So I went on the internet after adding these stones because they really didn't match the brick and they didn't match my grandma's very old stone. And I decided to cover them with a slurry of chimney soot and boiling water. And I think it did help take a little bit of the newness away for them, but it didn't turn out quite as I had seen in the pictures featured in that article. And funny enough, the article also mentioned putting yogurt on the stones and letting the yogurt sit there for a week. And that would also help age them. So if you've ever done anything like that, could you please tell me, does it actually work well? I would just like all of these stones to look as old as possible. They definitely don't need to match. I just want that really old look. And maybe rubbing some moss on them would help also. So when we started out, it was a beautiful sunny day, and I think it rained every day following that initial day because it took me about 4 days to complete this project, mainly because of the rain. And during that second evening, I didn't film it, but I decided to remove all the plants from this area that were not lamb's ear. I'm just really trying to get so much better with repeating the same plant over and over and over again. And I really want this spot to feel nice and restful and peaceful. I want it to be a break in the garden rather than my herbaceous border just continuing from the front of my garden all the way to the raised beds. I want there to be this nice break in the middle of the border that encourages people to stop, sit down, or even just to give their eye a little bit of a break from all of the chaos that I have going on with all of these blooming bulbs, shrubs, annuals, and perennials. So at this point, we had officially been working on the new stone rug for 2 evenings. It was currently late Friday evening, so I decided to hang up my shovel for the evening, head inside to watch the new episode of Gardener's World, and then I waited out the Saturday rainstorm so that I could attempt to work on the stone deck a little bit more. Should we call it a stone deck or a stone rug? Maybe I need a name for this new place in the garden. So I was getting ready to finish up the project, but after this big rainstorm, we have about a week of high temperatures and full sun. So instead of continuing to divide my grandma's lamb's ear, I decided to purchase, I think it was 3 or 4 more from the local nursery and just add them in. Now here I am, I think this is now the next day, Sunday. I am adding that mixture of boiling water and soot to the stone, and I let it sit for a few hours. I really have no idea what I'm doing in regards to this, but it did seem to actually age them a bit. And I'll continue to maybe add some more of that soot mixture onto the stone as the days go on, in the hopes to really just age the area, make the area look like it's always been a part of the garden versus a brand new area. And if you have any suggestions on aging stone, please let me know. Now, I believe these stone are actually just poured concrete, the new ones, that is. But friends, I think that brings us to the end of the project for today. I want to wish you a wonderful day out there in your gardens, and until next time, happy gardening. Bye!